Um, that touches on something that Craig, my flatmate, my good mate over here, said. He said everyone dies 3 times. First of all, when you actually die, so you decay, your body dies. The second of all, when someone verbally, the last time someone verbally says your name, and the third
Okay.
time is the last time anyone ever reads your name. And it touches on
Okay.
that legacy part, right, of like giving back. So multiple generations, multiple different years can pass, and people are still benefiting from the work that you've done, especially with the luxury of the internet. Like people are always going to start reading your name, and it kind of goes beyond it, right? Even if you don't slap your name to it, like you created that piece of work, and if
Yeah.
they benefit from that, like you're now living inside that person. You know what I mean? By giving back to him. It could be 300 years in the future. It could be, half an hour in the future. We don't know. But you've created a system or you've created a piece of work that can potentially help people so much down the line, so much further down the line, which is really exciting.
It is, brother. Yeah, I that's a good quote, bro. I'm
Mm,
gonna I'm gonna steal it.
do
Okay.
it, man. It's one of
Yeah.
those I think it's like Marcus Aurelius or some
Oh,
type
okay.
of Roman
Yeah.
Roman emperor or
Do do
soldier or something.
do you like it? Because I remember that when we met, like
Mm,
I can say like 2 months in, when we were still working in like in Auckland,
mm,
um, I talked to you about this guy, and I talked to you about the whole Stoic stuff, and I'm happy to hear that you look into it and you, how can I say, share the kind of values they promote in a way,
mm. Yeah, I think
Very,
definitely like coming over to this country, experiencing a couple of things, and then like kind of sitting down and just allowing everything to pass by and just like watching things, doing a little bit more of the poetry scene has like made me dive into the stoicism a lot more. Like we're out of crazy fast countries like France and the UK, right? Like everything that happens at a million miles an hour, and sometimes it's easy to get caught up in it. So we sit
those,
on the other side of the world and we're like miles away from family, miles away from friends, and to our standards, things go a lot slower. So yeah, I found it really easy and really fascinating to sit down and start reading into it a little bit more and start just opening your eyes to it. And I see there's many benefit, especially for guys, right? Because we can get caught up on anything. Usually it's vices. Usually it's alcohol, drugs, ladies, gambling, whatever it is, fast cars. Um, and it's easy to do that. And I don't necessarily knock anyone down for doing that. Um, I would just say take the time where personally, I just sit on a rock on the top of a hill and just think about life. Just do a little bit of meditation, clear your mind, dive into a thought a little bit deeper, something where you just analyze the way you think about it and see whether you can see it from a different light. And it's fucking fascinating, mate.
it is, right? I think, yeah, something that I remember um, when I was in the NZ. I used to be a little more like aware of the surroundings and nature, and because as in like Europe or stuff like that, in France, for example, for where everything is like just cities and cities and cities, or at least you have to move like really far to go into like the whole like how can I say, farms and stuff like that, forests. And I remember in New Zealand there was like, bro, just walk 10 minutes, and even in Auckland, where it was like the biggest city and stuff, where I just have to go for like a 30-minute drive, and that's it, that's it, bro. If I go into a 30-minute drive in Lyon, I just go like to my grocery. That's it, I can go I can go too far, So I feel like we did have, and you do have, this more time just concentrate on stuff, just being, like there's, I mean, yeah, for sure, you have your job and you have this stuff to do on the other side, but when you're in nature, nobody's working, right? Like the trees, the plants, the animals, they're just being, they're just living, and they are as perfect as they need to be, and just get this energy and this feeling of like mindfulness, from it. So I did enjoy a lot, and I miss it. I miss it a lot to be able to just like shit contemplate, right? That's that's so refreshing. Hey,
Yeah,
and
like being so close to nature and being so close to like untapped nature is a really easy and good way of being able to jump into that mindfulness state, right? And to that thoughtful, thought-provoking state of what's going on, or even just like clear everything. It's like I'm not thinking about anything right now. You just sat there, you're kind of like smelling what the air's like, you're feeling what your feet's feeling, you're feeling what your hand's feeling on the rock or the bench or whatever, and just sitting there for 10, 15 minutes, and the benefits you get from it is crazy.
yeah,
Like I am definitely someone who has like a million different ideas going through my head all the time. And I'm sure
yeah,
you're the same, like working for yourself, wanting to do everyone and a good service, right? Wanting to help everyone. So you have to think of everything in every way. And that can play its toll, like especially if you don't get any time for yourself. So being able to shove that apart and being able to just be, just live, is important.
it is. And I feel like the let's say the hardest part is to just like take the time to do it,
Mm,
because you always feel like, especially in the beginning when you're not used to it, and especially when you are like entrepreneur and you don't have someone to tell you to work from this and this, uh, just have to convince yourself that no, bro, you're not wasting your time, just taking a little bit of time for yourself, and not even just taking time to do nothing. You maybe just like reading or walking, but somewhere else,
mhm,
closer to nature, and accepting this idea that you may not um, work, or in my case create programs, or like, I don't know, man, like finding clients or stuff like that, but you're clearing your mind, and in a way makes you feel just, it's almost like when you don't sleep, you don't um, function good, right? You can't be good. You can't be a good functioning human when you don't sleep. And when you have a nice week of sleep, a nice sleep rhythm, you feel better. So you work better, you're more stable emotionally. And I feel like your contact to nature may be like pretty much the same,
mhm,
because when you're like always so caught up in the stuff, in the cities, in the noise, in the stress, in the, always blah, 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 some stuff, it's like, in my way, you're just like, you're more into a surviving state. You're doing some stuff, and you don't have time to set and focus on the stuff. And Nietzsche said that he has never been so productive than when he took like daily walks into around the Como Lake, in Italy. So that's always this kind of stuff. Just when you feel like, I know I do that sometimes when I feel like all stressed up,
mhm.
I go for a walk or run. And bro, sometimes I come home and I do my best work, and I feel the best. And it's always before I'm like, oh, bro, I'm gonna waste my time and stuff. And I come back and bro, I feel so much better. That's it. It doesn't look necessary, but it certainly does after a while. That's it. I think we have to sometimes slow down and take some time, because at the end of the day, when you'll be old, you won't like, ah, shit, I should have worked more. No, it's always like, I should have be able to see a little more, to enjoy a little more, to slow down a little more, because it's all about experience. Life isn't like about how many zeros you're gonna do in your bank account at the end of the day. It's always like, yeah. Have you enjoyed the trip? You know, did you? No? Come on, bro. No, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I came across a concept quite recently where it was the concept of working in, not just working out. So it's having the ability to like switch between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, right? So, you know, working, stressful, lack of sleep, training, coaching people, blah blah blah. That's all like fight or flight, sympathetic, adrenaline, let's go, you know, hyped up. Like it's a cool state to
Okay.
be in, but it will drain the shit out of you, you know. So it's being able to like recharge those batteries. And yeah, they coined the phrase working in, and I was like, working in, that's fantastic. Like you find time to work out, right? I would hope everyone listening to would say yes. If not, find some fucking time. um but we don't find any time to work in. You know, we want to go 100% all the time, and I have definitely been guilty of that, you know, in the past. And now it's like probably spend just as much time working in as I do working out, and not just like training, as in like working, coaching, thinking about that sort of type of stuff. Like, you know, I write a lot. I'll hustle up a hill and go sit on there. I'll meditate. I'll stretch. I'll go in the sauna, which has been a big one recently. Just because I don't like it and it's hot, and it gives me time to battle through, you know, past
It's good.
thoughts or whatever. You know, you kind of come out a bit of a new man, a fresh man. Um, and I make sure I spend that a decent amount of time, and I've got to do at least one of them a day, you know. And if I don't, I find myself slipping.
Hmm. Yeah, but how do you like? Let's say if something's hearing our conversation and they're like, "Yeah, come on, bro." They all say this kind of stuff, but how do you apply it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just like how do one person goes into starting to walking in? If I, can
Mm-hmm.
take your words, like people don't know how to do it. How would you advise to start, at least for someone that's like us, we were like busy people,
Mm-hmm.
trying to feel better, and how do they start? What are some good examples of activities and stuff to do?
That's good. That's good. It's a good question, man. Like, walking is always a good one.
Yeah.
Like 5-10 minute walk in the morning. You know, everyone can get up 5 minutes earlier. Like as soon as you get up, turn your alarm clock off, put your shoes on, and walk outside for 5 minutes. Like 2.5 minutes forwards, 2.5 minutes back. You'll be like, oh, what's the point in that? It's like because that can set your mindset for the day. You flick the kettle on, and you've done a 2.5 minute walk. You've turned around, you've done a 2.5 minute. That you can walk to the end of the street and back. You feel so much better. Or stretching's another good one. You know, the body feels better, the mind feels better. Usually, vice versa too. But for me, I always think if you're not good at something and you find it really difficult, it's probably something that you need to spend more time on. So for me, it was calming my mind. It was clearing all the thoughts. It was not thinking about a project I want to do in 2.5 years because I'm like 10 steps behind it and trying to map everything out. You know what I mean? Um, so it was meditating. It was like sitting down and just trying to clear my head, and find a sense of like calm, find a sense of beauty in the day, of just like, okay, I can feel myself sat on the floor, I can smell the air, and I can like feel what my body's doing. But other than that, I'm just in like this void in space and I don't really know what's going on. And I try and like shut down my senses so I can't really hear anything anymore. And then I'll try and like shut down so I can't taste anything, and then I can't feel anything, and kind of go that way. Granted, you'd maybe never be able to do it, but you're connecting more with yourself, like we talked about connecting with nature. Now you're connecting more with yourself. You can understand feelings a lot better. That's what I've noticed. Usually you're a lot calmer when you go into conversations. That's the second one I've noticed. And then third one, like you actually feel like revitalized. It's like, oh, okay, like I can attack the day now and I'm not playing catch up. Like it's on my terms, you know what I mean? Because I've given myself 10, 15 minutes in the middle of the day where I usually would think I need to be going 110 miles an hour, but I'm actually just sat on the floor meditating. And it's kind of like you're going at your own pace. And that usually means the work that you do, like you touched on before, is the best work you've ever created.
Yeah, that's it. And I think one thing that's important to say that when people like goes from 0 to 100, like they're so busy, so stressed out, and they go into meditating because somebody told them about it, and they feel like, yeah, it's the perfect solution, it's the magic, and they feel like, bro, I can't stop thinking. And they have to understand. You tell me if you don't agree, but they have to understand that every practice, and especially meditating as well, is um, something that you will master with time, and I found that when I used to meditate a lot more, that I just went better and better with the days. I feel like, a few weeks in, I was like, oh shit, I literally didn't think of anything and it felt weird, and I didn't feel that way a few days before or something, so it's something you learn by doing it, as long as you believe that it will help, you'll fully commit to it, and you'll get better. Of course, nobody just goes and sit and feel like freaking Gandhi, you just have to work your way into it. And going back into what you said, I made me remind of something a friend in Bordeaux said to me once. It was, people nowadays, they just don't get bored anymore, and having the ability to be bored sometime and just like go along with it is a gift,
Mm.
people hate to be bored now. They just feel like you're either always reading or looking at your phone or thinking about it or trying to optimize everything always, okay, yeah, I have a 5 minute post, so I'll just like go and write what I have to do next, or I'll think about what. No, no, no. Just sometime the ability that children especially have. I mean, maybe less and less, but they used to have it. Is to just stay and be bored, and that's it, and just like, oh, okay, wonder, and yeah, okay. It can be nature, or it can be in anywhere else, but just they're just they're just being in this state, they're not doing anything, they're not crafting, they're not working, they're not creating, they're just being. And I think it is important for our health, mental health especially, to be able to just sometime make a little pause, because this ability to go into a more calm state, or a more like just observative state, is important, and especially the ability to go more easily into it, or more quickly into it, as you'll be able to, let's say in the sports, be able to explode more, to start your sprints faster or something like that.
Mhm.
The same, be able to go from stress to calm easily, and don't have to, okay, to prepare yourself 40 minutes or something like that. Just be able to have the adaptability. I
Mm.
think that's important.
It's if you think about it, it's being like a more well-rounded human, right? And you wouldn't expect your body to be able to run 24/7 because like
Oh,
eventually it'll start breaking down. So why do we expect our minds to run like 24/7? It's a really catch-22 oxymoronic like paradox. Like you're like, well, what's going on here? Like I've got double standards for my own body and my own expectation of what I can produce as a human being, right? And you're trying to get grade A stuff out of your mind, and you don't treat it like a grade A student. You treat it like a piece of shit.
yeah, because they don't realize, bro. They people often feel like, if a problem, and it's the same in the body. If a problem isn't so present that it becomes like unbearable, you're like, I can live with that, I mean, I've done it my whole life, so it's not that bad. I think that's the same. And one day, brother, I can assure you, you'll be like, I need to do something,
Mm.
And it's always the same. People will keep on like, and as a coach, they keep on saying to themselves that, okay, maybe I don't need that much to do it. Maybe it's not that bad. I'll just bear it a few years again, and just become worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And the time that you don't have the choice will be too late, or it will be very hard to to go back to a more healthy state,
Mhm.
And yeah, just feel like it's not that bad, Okay, I'm stressed, but anyway,
Little and often is the way to go, man. Whether it's mindfulness or whether it's physical and health, like little and often creates huge change. Like, we know a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, right? But we wait until we're at the foot of the mountain and think, oh shit, we forgot our mountaineering gear. All right, this is going to be a lot harder. Let's keep going. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you wait until you've had a gastric band, you wait until you've had like a mental breakdown, blah blah blah. Like, okay, sometimes life is going to need to kick you in the face, and you're going to need to see life from a different perspective. So take the positives from that. Life happens, but don't make the same mistake twice. You see so many people, um, especially like coming out of COVID, right? Everyone has felt the effects, okay, physically and mentally of being in their home for a while. Socially, they're feeling a little bit down. I'm seeing pictures of everyone back home, and every opportunity they can, they're in the pub drinking. And I'm like, okay, like, you've not done that for a while. Well, you have, but you've done it in your own home. But you've not seen mates for a while. You want to have that social environment. That's fantastic. Go for it. Enjoy yourself. Blah blah blah. However, look at the habits you're creating. If sinking 5, 6 pints every day is something that you want to, a habit you want to create, then this is the door that you're going to knock on down the line. Fatty liver disease, maybe just like obesity, lack of money, depression, all these things are going to end up rolling the dice, and you could be dealt a hand. And it's the little things you do daily that end up creating the bigger picture, the masterpiece at the end. It's not like you sit down and you make the Mona Lisa. Like, there's like a million different smiles underneath that.
Yeah.
But people wait until it's literally punching them in the face, and then they'll come around and be like, Hugo, it's your fault, mate. It's like, how is it my fault? I don't control you. Like, you're the one who's waited till it's seriously late. I'll help you, but it will it will hurt a lot less.
I think people prefer to. I think it's easier actually to keep on doing something that hurts you than make the effort and how can I say, to risk that become someone that you don't know actually, because people get used to their their difficulties and their pains and being that 100% and stuff like that, and sometimes change make them scared.
Mm,
It's like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work? What if it's it's the effort, because nothing comes easy, right?
mm,
Whether it be um, like physically, even financially or stuff like that, you always have to endure something, have to work hard, often, for a long time towards something. And at this point, I don't even say what to do, but people are already like, it looks like difficult, So that's it. Like, fine, you have to choose your hard, because eventually it's going to be hard,
mm,
either because you're going to be really fucked because all the choices you made, or either because you're working toward achieving something, becoming better. But nothing is easy. I say the easiest part is just to keep on doing what you have, and just become pleased with like your current situation, and be
Mhm.
like, yeah, but quitting smoking is hard, Yeah, but you'll see in a few years, you know. Yeah, but when I drink, I feel happier. Okay, but it's always this, you know, you become used to the person you've been for a long time, and I think that's the scary part. It's
Mm.
like, yeah, getting used to it.
I think it's the unknown that people don't like. It's the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. And yeah, people get really comfortable, and I think they get comfortable with using an excuse or having an excuse. Where they're like, "Oh yeah, well I can't do that." I was like, "Why can't you do it?" Because of this. It's like, yeah, but that is only because you're doing it. You can do it. Oh, but it's hard. Yes, motherfucker, life's hard. Get on with it. Like, do like the Les Brown as a brilliant quote, and it absolutely smacked me in the throat the first time I ever heard it. Was, if you do what is hard, your life will be easy, or if you do what is easy, your life will be hard.
That's true.
Either one, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And you can draw parallels to our own lives, and you're like, that is completely true, completely.
Yeah.
But it's
And
the whole like, oh no, I don't want to, I don't know, go through something right now. I don't want to experience a little bit of hardship right now, whether it is mindfulness, working on yourself, training, food, mobility, whatever it is, relationships. Like, okay, but then you have to see that down the line, it's going to be so much worse. And I'm going to tell you it's going to be so much worse, because here are the steps that you're going to end up taking. And if you come back and be like, oh, it's so much worse, you need to help me, I can't guarantee I'm going to be here.
yeah. I mean, people they don't like to do hard stuff because they don't like to be hurt. But you'll always be hurt. I mean, it's just the difference is that now we are not used to be hurt. We're not used to feel pain, and well, you're not used to do some like fuck it, shitty stuff. Because we have the choice, right? We have the choice to go into comforts or to choose to do the hard stuff and the not pleasing stuff. Yeah, bro. Nobody just force you to wake up at 5 and go run. Nobody. I don't care. I won't force you. That's what I say to my clients. I mean, if I'm not there, I'm not there. You can physically do what you want, but you know, if you choose to do the shitty stuff, bro, life will be so easy because at least you'll be used to it. And it's like, for example, as a boxer, when you just get your first hit in the head, you're like, oh shit, come on. Yeah, you're all scared. But when you get used to it, you're like, come on,
Mm.
because you're used to it. Yeah, that's the same punch. But you're used to it. So you get a different feeling about it and a different approach, and you don't scare it that much. And coming back to I don't have time to the excuse stuff. It reminds me of a very good friend that is actually a bodybuilder. And one time in the gym, this young lad comes and say, "Bro, I would like." He tells to the guy. He tells, "Bro, I would love to do it too. I would love to be a bodybuilder, but right now I can't." And the guy's like, doing his freaking leg press with freaking all the weights in the gym. He's like, "Oh yeah, why? Can't you do it?" And he's like, "Because I'm working. I'm still studying, and I." So that's And the guy's like, hey, come on, bro. I prepared my first bodybuilding show when I was working towards becoming a personal trainer, working in a gym, and working as a side job to finance all this other stuff. So the guy was literally getting 3 jobs at once, and he still did it, and he did fucking well. So if this guy did all this crazy stuff, all this shitty stuff, all this painful stuff, I mean, fucking, I can do it. This guy can do it. You just have to do it, You just your body can endure so much stuff, talking about like effort and stuff like that. But the mind is what you have to convince. So you have to first have a better relationship with all the decisions you make, because if you're never the, how can I say, if you're never the one that makes the choice, it's always like the odds are not in your favor, or but this happened, it's not my fault, and bro, you're never gonna do it. It's like you have to take control and to take action and take responsibility, and that's the important part. You're the one that do it, and you're the one that doesn't do it. When you have the choice, fucking yeah, life happens. Sometimes some shit hits the fan, and yeah, someone dies, or someone breakups, or something like that. But what do you do to react to it? It's like you always have a margin of action, something you can do, and some choice you can make toward the stuff, the inevitable stuff that happen in life. How do you react to it, and the just way of how you get it and how you move on is already a very big choice and very important choice. I think that's more about like being able to assume you're part into it, you're part into this process.
Mm.
You're the only actor of your life. What do? You control.
Accountability is something that has been lost recently, and it's something that's seriously important. It's like everyone needs to have these moments in their day or have the moments in their life where they sit down and be like, I'm a product of what I've done, not anyone else. Like, granted, you've come up in this, you've brought up in this environment. Granted, you've had these parents. Granted, you've been around these people. Okay, but you're the one who fucking does it. Oh, they forced me to do it. Nah, gun to your head. You're the one who's pulling the trigger. There's no one else who's going to do it. If you don't squeeze, it's not going off. Like, if you don't jump, you're not going off the hill. And it's people want an excuse. They find comfort in that excuse of, oh, no, it's because these people are doing it, so I'm going to go do it. Or Hugo didn't turn up. He was 5 minutes late, so I'm going to go home now. I was like, what? Like, you know what you're doing, man. Warm yourself up. But what do you mean? Get yourself ready. Like, it's not on everyone else to be able to do everything for you. Like, if, like, say, for example, we're going to use ourselves, right? If we had waited for everyone else to have done things for us or waited to follow in their footsteps, where the fuck would we be now?
That's very far, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm gonna take this book, for example. From publishers alone and from the first book alone, like I said, I got a couple more like already written, just waiting to put the pin on it. So the first book alone and just publishers, I've had 6 rejections. Right, that's just publishers, not independent bookstores, not university presses, not like publishing companies, not like marketing, nothing. Just the global bigger publishing houses, right? That's 6. It wouldn't be published. It would still be on pieces of paper or on a Word document or a PDF on my laptop, and it wouldn't be around the world. Or you can just say, you know what, fuck it. I am my creator. I am my master of my own fate. I am the captain of my ship. We all like that saying, but we never actually lived by it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to self-publish it. Oh, sorry, we can't take this on because it was self-published. Cool. That's great. But I took the accountability. I took the initiative and I produced this book, and now it is around the world. You know, you took the initiative to move to Leon, to move to New Zealand, to start online, to go fully into online, to start doing more in person, to coach at a gym, to whatever it is, to read more mindfulness, create more programs. You did that, not because, oh, it would be cool if you did this. Oh, okay, cool. Send me like the template so I can trace over it and it's going to be a copy of everyone else's. Like, nah, man, we're creating AI, we're creating robots to be able to be the same. The humans is where the difference occurs. And we're all acting the same. It's strange.
It is, bro. It is. Yeah, but I think that's a very important step to have in order to be able to control a little bit more of what you do and be able to become more responsible is, I mean, be able to accept what you did well, you know? I'll always tell my friends and all when they are like all complaining and all saying that this happened, this did. I say, yeah, but look what you did. If you didn't do it, this good stuff couldn't happen, you know. And yeah, bro, but you did. You did the first step into going into the girl, you know, talking to her. You know, you did it, and that's the most important part. Yeah, she may have rejected you, but you know, you can't control it. You know, you did the step. You did it. That's it. Be proud of it. And as the first step to be able to accept, I mean, your losses, because of course it's very important part. But be able to like, yeah, you did it. You did something. You know, you alone. That's important because people always tend to know like victimize and be able to, but I can't do it. I can't do this shit. I can. No, you did it. You did this. And myself, I couldn't have, you know? You did it, you know? Champion. Proud of you. That's it. That's the first step, you know? Be able to be confident about your abilities, your skills, your, you know, because everyone's so different, but everybody has something they're quite good at, you know, or something they did that people may not have, you know. There's always reason to be proud and to be able to comfort you into that. Yeah, I can do more. Yeah, I already did it. You know, nobody helped me. You know, maybe shitty, bro, but maybe like ordering yourself at the restaurant because some people are just so shy that they can't do it and be able to do it. No, you did it. You couldn't have like 2 years prior. So you did it, man. That's the first step. Keep going. That's it. You know, be able to accept it and I think that's a whole different topic, right? But that's yeah, you have to trust yourself, trust your guts, and sometimes, and I think that's links to the mindfulness part. Sometimes just not think too much, you know, because thinking too much just kills your ambitions and
Mm.
makes you question stuff too much, you know.
Mm.
Yeah,
Just look
that's
for the
it.
small wins, man. Like they could be in any way. Even waking up and getting yourself a coffee in the morning is a fucking win, and that's it. Like you everything else might not go your way that day, but you were able to wake up and get yourself a coffee and enjoy the coffee, and like that was it. Like that's a win. You know, take the win, leave the L's, take the lessons, leave the losses, go forward with it. Like proud but never satisfied. You know, like ordering at a restaurant like that's big, man. Like people can be really socially anxious, like don't want to do it, blah blah blah. That's fucking awesome, man. Like be your biggest cheerleader, be your biggest hero, but never be satisfied with like a single step because as satisfaction creeps in, that's it. That's when you get complacent and you're happy of where you are. And if you're not moving forward, you're dying, man.
Yeah, for sure. You're surviving, not living, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So how's the whole mobility coming in? How's that going?
Well, it's going pretty well, man. It's pretty much a not my full on work. You know, I
Hmm.
try to keep on doing that because I just started with it, and I just love this aspect of the fitness. But I'm exploring other stuff. You know, I recently got into more like I won't say bodybuilding because I'm not into that type of training that much. But I'm picking some stuff, picking some goods into it. So of course, mobility have a slow down a bit, But same stuff as boxing. I'm trying to grow into some other aspects of the whole fitness spectrum, and so I do indeed still do my mobility stuff.
Hmm.
I I still work towards my splits and stuff, and it's going pretty well. But I'm not doing it alone, and that's not what I do offer as work alone. I do some other stuff, and I especially like no one to let's say work with people that begin their journey. I like to go into like beginners because I think they are the people that need to be more supported. So that's pretty much what I do now. I try to go into like the typical adults, let's say 30 years old or something like that feel like shit, maybe a little too much beers, right? And I feel like yeah, I have to work and become a go back on track. That's
Mm.
what I do now. So a little more mobility, but not all of it, right?
What's the biggest barriers you find for people that have reached maybe 30 years old and they're like, oh shit, like let's start paying a bit more attention to the health scene.
I'd say habits, man,
Mm.
because most of the time these people may have been spotty, but I think it's more often of like, as you said, going to the bars way too often, um, and feel like, yeah, but okay, I'm always tired, but I mean, I'm always like this, so they're just like most of the time accepting all the bads, and I feel like, well, but I I don't have the time to do it, or yeah, but I'm in couple, so eating right is like I don't know my groceries, or this kind of stuff. I'd say it's more like years of bad habits,
Hmm.
and and most importantly years of like excuses.
Hmm.
And this is the major part because, bro, the physical transformation is not that hard. It's not like it's a math or something like that. You don't have to do equations or just do something. You'll always be better than nothing. And bro, any people, even if we do some short stuff, not that often, people just lose like 2, 3, 4, 5 kg a month, you know and they're like, "Wow, I feel better." Yeah, you just did the stuff, and I'm just here to make you do it and comfort you into it. But it is not that hard. You just have to do something quite often and for a long time. That's it. No shit. But the whole like relationship to the exercise and to the action and to the fact of you know having discipline. This is the most important part and the hardest part. I'd say
Mm.
it. What about you?
Mm. It's a good question. Habits is definitely something that forms what you do, right? And it's the most important to get right, and it can be the most destructive when it's wrong, or not as optimal as it should be. The social circles is quite hard to break. Because what are you going to do? You're going to turn around and be like, well, the lifestyle of your friends is not helping you. Like, they're going to tell you to fuck off. Um, some sometimes I've just told them that. I was like, look, mate, like this is shit. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Or if you want to do that, that's fine. But you've also got to understand that X, Y, and Z is going to be hindered. You know, you might not lose weight, you might not perform well in the gym, and you might feel shit. Why? Because you drink a lot on the weekend and you take drugs. So I was like, well, you're gonna have a massive comeback down from the alcohol and then also from the drugs too. I'm like, that's that's not okay, dude. Like, don't complain that the training's not working. Like, it's everything you do outside. Like, I can see you for an hour, maybe 3 times a week. What are you doing for the rest of the hours? You know, and if we've had a conversation about it, like, I'm not going to be there slapping food out your mouth and like making sure you're only drinking a couple pints rather than 12. Like, that's on you, man. And I think the social circle is really hard to break. Um, it's it's really important to be able to assess whether your friends and the people that you spend the most time with around you are giving to you or they're taking from you. You know, not in a literal sense, but in the sense of like energy balance, right? And habitual formation and what you end up doing in your pastime. Like, if every time, say for example, we lived in the same city and every time you came round, we started drinking. Like, every time. We couldn't have a coffee, we couldn't have some water, we couldn't just talk, we couldn't go for a training session, we couldn't just go for a walk. It was like every time we see each other, we got a drink. Like, is that the best of environments to be around for your physical and your mental health? Probably not. And I think that's the hardest one to break, um, because you could be like making them see a relationship that they've had with a friend for the past 10 years and making them see that it's been a faulty one, which most people don't want to see that, you know, because they're like, oh, I just wasted 10 years. Like, yeah, but at the same time, like, you've learned from it, so let's use it now. I'm not saying you need to cut those people out of your life, but sometimes if you make a decision to change the way you live, which is ultimately changing your lifestyle and the way your habits that you do and the way you spend your pastimes, and sometimes you're gonna have to reduce that time you spend with them, or you're gonna be like, hey, I'm on this journey, blah 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 blah. I've made this decision to get healthier and get healthier mentally too. And I want to break some habits. And if you're not okay with that, then we're not going to spend a lot of time together. And it's having the confidence to be able to do that is quite important. And I've noticed a lot of people, especially in the corporate scene, like they finish work and it's like they have a couple of beers and then they've got a meeting the next day and there's alcohol served at the meeting because it's 4 p.m. on a Friday, so we might as well have a drink. And then it's a Friday, so should we go to the bar? Yeah, cool, we're going to keep drinking whilst we eat. And it just spirals from there. It's like, oh, we got a mate round on Saturday, we're going to have a couple of drinks. I'm like, oh no, I only had a couple. Yeah, you only had a couple, mate, 4 days in a row. You know, that's drinking more times than you're not in a week. You know, that's the majority, not the minority. Like, it adds up.
That's it. That's the addition, of the poison that
Mm,
makes it lethal.
mm,
It's like, I mean, you can do like you can drink some time, all right. It's not about like cutting all stuff, but if you do it like often and you depend on it,
mm,
because let's say it honestly, if you drink every time you see someone, you know, I mean, is your relationship really solid with this
mm,
person? Is there like, because sometimes it's the same as like some relationship, pretty much like toxic ones. If you cut out the toxic part of it, is there anything left to it? And
mm,
it's hard for people to assume that they feel like they have for sure to go with the thing they did for a long time, right? It goes with what you said, like if you've done something for a long time, you feel like, yeah, but if I don't do it anymore, I'd be like, yeah, have I wasted a lot of years? So they are proud in a bad way that makes them keep on doing that
Yeah.
just because, to feel like, yeah, it's the same with like the studies. Some people go into studies for like, let's say 5+ years, and they're like, shit, they go to a point and they feel like, I don't want to do it, or they've been working for 20 years and like, I don't feel like it's good for me.
Mm.
And you're like, maybe changing it, right? Yeah. I mean, like, better to change than just keep on doing it. And like, nah, because it would mean that all these years have been like trash. They've been not worth it. And as you said, maybe, but you learn from it. And I
Mm.
always say that any experiences, either good or bad, means that in the worst case scenario, you've learned what not to do anymore, at least, That's always, and yes, it's the same. I mean, I don't have the English word, but um, it's pretty much a obligation concept, principle. It's
Mm.
like you buy a fancy stuff and you feel like, holy shit, this is worthless,
Mm.
but you're like, I spent $500 in this crazy high tech, gadget, so I should use it. That's it. That's it. Because you feel like you're linked to it. You have an obligation to keep on doing it. Because you've invested either time or money. So sometimes people will just keep on doing stuff because they've invested so much into it. Whereas it's a way more difficult work to have on yourself to be able to accept your losses. And be like, okay, I may have done something not that clever, but now I'll work toward doing a better one. This shit is hard,
Mm.
okay? Easier said than done, but it will be maybe in the long run more intelligent way of acting.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, sometimes you got to take the L, and the L being the lesson, and you've gained something, and you've become a more well-rounded human being. Like you can't see that any other way. Like you have learned something about life, something about yourself, something about all the things under the sun. Like it can't be a negative experience then because you have gained something from it. And if you look at it that way, then you no longer are trapped in these cycles of a negative spiral of just going down and down and down and down and down. You're like, oh, okay, like eventually something slapped me in the face and I was like, oh, this is the lesson I need to learn. This is where I need to go. I should probably stop doing what I'm doing. I was like, yes, it took you 20 years, but it doesn't matter, mate, because you've learned that lesson. So you've gained something from it. Have you had a good time in the last 20 years? Yes. It's great. We'll take the wins. Take the wins, leave the loss, and take the lesson. It's important, man.
That's it. And I think that's important too, is that some stuff may be good for you right now, but in the long run, they may not be,
Mm.
and that's hard for anyone to say. But this is good, right?
Mm.
It may have been, depends. It's like relationship, for example. Yeah, as we said, friends. Some people may have given you and brought to you some very good stuff. Some very good values, some very good moments in your life. Um, but maybe not anymore, and that's hard to be able to draw this line into that was good. I feel so happy about it. So how can I say? So I mean, I take it for what it is, and now it may be too much. Now I have to take the decision, which is a lot, again, very hard. Okay, this is enough. Okay, let's move on. And moving on is very hard. You know it, brother.
Mm.
It is a very hard decision.
Mm.
But sometimes you have to lose a bit to find a lot more, you know,
Mm.
and keep on walking, right? Because behind every end hide, beginnings.
Mm.
That's it. Have to.
And people change, man.
They
People
do.
change. Like you learn different things, you grow. Obviously, we age every second. Like people change. So, what you need now is going to be different to what you're going to need in 20 years time. And you know, staying with the decision you made 20 years ago might still benefit you, which is fantastic. But the majority of the cases, it won't. And you like take friendships, like it's going to need a change. You take clients, it will need to change because their goals will change, their situations will change. Maybe they get an injury, maybe they get ill, maybe they have a kid. Like everything will change, and that's the whole thing. The only thing that stays the same in life is change. Like that's it. So everything will need to adapt and flow. But again, it goes back to that unknown, right? People are scared of that unknown. They want everything to stay the same. And when I was like a young lad, I'd fight it. I'd be like, oh, change is like the scariest thing for me. So, yes, because like not knowing what's to come is is quite nerve wracking. Like it's unnerving. You don't know what's coming. But at the same time, that's life, man. You know, that's what life is. It spins and things change, live and die. Like everything will evolve and then decay. That's the point. And it's if you look at it that way and you look at it really bluntly and be like, oh, okay, yeah. So it's no longer serving me and it's only been 2 weeks, we'll leave. It's no longer serving me and it's been 45 years, then leave. It doesn't matter. You've come to the same conclusion. Like it's being able to assess whether your habits and your decisions that you made whenever is still serving you today. And if the answer is more no's than yes, then fucking change it, man. It's fine.
That's some tough decisions.
Yeah, man.
It is because I think change is like, as we said, a lot harder than just keep on doing something, even if the thing is slowly killing you. It's like you have to do the stuff, like both mentally and it may look like stupid from here, but sometime as you live it, as you live the change, or as you are ready to do it, feels like the hardest thing in the world, you know? It's like you don't even know, you can't do it, It's like, so I think that's a very, very deep work to do on yourself
Mm.
in this kind of, and overall, just being able to accept change and don't feel bad about it and just, take responsibility about your choices. Yeah,
Mm.
okay, I did something stupid. I learned from it. Okay, it's some good. Now it's time to change it because it's no longer good. Take responsibility. That's always it, bro. Just comes down to the same stuff for me. And that's always better to work on toward this kind of stuff um, earlier because when life hits you in the face, you're never prepared for it.
Mm.
So the only thing you can do is to just get used to it, bro. And as you say, the very good thing to do about it is just do something that sucks every day. For
Mm.
example, that's it. Get used to it. Don't have the same mentality to it. You know, like enjoy the suck.
Mm.
Just enjoy it. Get used to it, even if you don't enjoy it, because if you do it well, you will never enjoy it. But find some proudness at least into it. Yeah, I did it. I did it, but I'm proud,
Mm.
bro. That's it. It's all worth it. You know.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Brother, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks a
Nah,
lot.
it's good to see you
Pleasure.
again, man. It's been fucking ages.
Me too, man. I really hope someday either go back over there or you will come to Europe or something. And yeah, we'll for sure catch up, man. We have to.
Oh, for sure. Like I miss Europe really badly. I fucking love Europe. It's like Central Europe is awesome. You've got everything and the history. I miss the history of places, you know, you feel it in the way people act, you feel it in the ground, you feel it in the whole infrastructure of the nation. Like that's what I miss mostly. So yeah, I'll definitely start kicking it around Central Europe, Scandinavia, home again. For how long? Who knows? You know, like we said, embrace the unknown.
That's it.
But
That's
I'll
it.
definitely be back, and you need to come to the South Island, man.
I've been a few times, you know, I just loved it, you know,
Mm,
but not not enough, I'd say.
mm.
So I really look forward to going back, you know.
Maybe we'll meet in the midpoint in like the Maldives or something.
For sure, bro.
That sounds like a good place to go get a coffee.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they do some good coffees over there, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, for
Spot
sure.
on. You have a fantastic day, lad, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, man. Thanks a
Peace.
lot.